Tun, 5 years ago, during a press conference, I remember you said the MJ is a little boy due to various reasons that time like 5 years ago. Do you think now he's ready since he's a caretaker ruler in Johor? Is he ready? Is he fit?
He has released a statement on his part, and it's not very something that we can welcome. We have set up Malaysia as a federation of many states. He seems to think that Johor should become the Malaysia, that Malaysia belongs to, should be having one monarch and things like that. That is going to change our constitution, and that's not wise, because you do that, the whole country will crumble. All the states will want to be separated, and we go back to the previous situation, because before we became independent, the Malay states were separated. Each state has got its own ruler, its own loyalty, and because of that, the states were very weak, because they were small states, very poor, and they have to submit to foreign countries like Thailand, like Myanmar, Burma, and China, and all that. So if you break up the country, then I'm sorry to say that all the countries will regress. Even the ones which are doing well may regress.
Okay. Do you have any advice to him?
Hmm?
Do you have any advice to him?
No, I think we have a good system,
Okay.
a federal system. What the British wanted to do at one time was to create a Malay Union.
Yes.
And the Malay Union will be one country, no states. It's just one country with one government. Before there were 7 governments, but because the people protested and the rulers also protested, the British agreed to the federation. The federation returns the state as states, negeri, but it is a federation. It has a central government, it has a state government. So the state can look after itself because it has its own government, but for the big things like foreign affairs, defense, and all that, this should be the responsibility of the federal government, the central government.
As a united voice.
Yeah,
As
united voice.
Tun, I think a lot of people want to know this question, want to know this answer from you personally. Who do you think is the next Prime Minister after Datuk Sri Anwar?
Well, at this moment it's difficult to say.
Okay.
But we are always looking at one man who is very powerful,
Okay.
who is excellent, fantastic prime minister and all that. It's not easy to come by.
Okay.
What we can do is, I notice that in Malaysia, the prime minister is too powerful.
Okay.
Too powerful. He can even disregard the separation of power between the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary.
Okay.
There appears to be some authority exercised by the prime minister that extends throughout the country. That is not good.
Okay.
What we should have is to spread the power a little.
Okay.
The prime minister has a cabinet, but the cabinet is beholden to the prime minister. Normally, the cabinet just agrees to the prime minister. So I think there should be another body not made up of elected people,
Okay.
but representing different spheres. like business people, like
Macam civil
other.
society, isn't that like a civil society ke macam mana?
Yeah, but they should not be elected.
Okay.
They should not be. So say we have about 10 people to whose advice the must be taken seriously by the Prime Minister.
Okay.
So the Prime Minister doesn't act on his own. Today we find that the Prime Minister is even cabinet is well is a farce because the cabinet doesn't play any real role.
Okay.
So we need to have a Prime Minister who is influenced by people who are not beholden to him, not appointed by him, but selected in other ways. I say this because when we were facing the financial crisis
Okay.
during my time, I had the cabinet, but I did not consult only the cabinet.
Okay.
I set up a separate body made up of financiers, bankers, business people, and all that. And we discussed the problem of the finance, and the Prime Minister, I was the Prime Minister, and we took heed of what was the views of this body, which is not an elected body. You see, so they are not beholden to me. They can say what they like. They can reject what I said, or they can supplement it or modify it. So that way, the Prime Minister benefits from the expertise in the different fields, and we were able to tackle the financial crisis through that method. Subsequently, of course, to legalize it, it has to go back to the cabinet.
Yeah.
Cabinet has to approve, and then when the cabinet approves, it goes to Parliament and through the due process
Okay.
before becoming law.
Tapi personally, Tun Am, you still haven't answered who do you think can be the next Prime Minister?
No, we are trying to find a giant.
Giant? Yeah, you don't see
it doesn't
it.
matter if the Prime Minister has the facilities.
Yeah. It doesn't
that,
matter who it is. Is it? Does it?
He's maybe not so smart,
Okay.
but he listens to the
Advice.
others. Yeah.
The
You see,
discussion.
what is happening now is that under the democratic system, you are chosen because you are popular.
Yes.
But you are popular for what? If you are
Okay.
popular because you are a great administrator, then you become a minister, then you can do your work well.
Yeah.
But if you are popular because of something else, and you then become a minister, and you do not know
What you're
the
doing.
way the government functions,
Uh-huh.
then of course you cannot solve problems.
Okay.
I had a soalan sama tapi in a different way. Okay, Tun. 3 MP ataupun former MP, Tun can see boleh jadi Prime Minister. Contohnya KJ, Wan Ahmad Faizal ke. So Tun, boleh bagi your own list. Six adik ke your own list Tun. 3. The next generation. Yeah.
Saya, when I was Prime Minister for the second time, I brought in a very young person into the cabinet, 25 years old, Syed Sadiq. I thought that he could be given time to grow, and if he performs well, he may become. But there are also other people, young people. I don't like to name names because it's almost as if I want to endorse somebody.
Okay, yes.
So there are 3 or 4 others, I think, who have potential, but they have to be given a chance, and the system must be changed. Not a powerful Prime Minister, but a Prime Minister who listens to advice of the elders. That is very important. If you do that, I think even if you get a prime minister who may not be so smart, but he can tap the minds of other people and he can do well. Actually, governing the country is quite simple. But, but
You've done it for a long time.
yeah, but I don't know why it cannot be done. I mean, the system is all there.
Okay.
You see, it's not the system that is wrong, it's the person. They change the whole system. For example, before our objective was to grow the country, develop the country, to become a developed country. And then they changed to cash is king.
Yes.
That means that they are there to make money for themselves. I mean, there is already a mechanism for getting rid of these people. The party itself, when they see that their leader is interested only in money, the party should overthrow
Yeah.
the leader. But he uses money and he buys support. So unfortunately, people do not express their real view, but they are influenced by money.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So, recently, the grassroots from DAP saying that there's a big division between the Chinese DAPs and the Indian DAPs. So, how true is this, Tun?
Yeah.
Do you see that coming?
You see, there are many countries
Mm-hmm.
where people of migrants become citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Once they become citizens, they identify themselves completely with the citizens of this of the country. But in Malaysia, the migrants actually form their own political parties.
Okay.
Then that means they are separating themselves from the indigenous people. We should have only one citizen. All have the same, speak the same language, same culture, same activity, all together. And the party should be of the migrants who have already completely identified themselves with the local. In fact, there is in Malaysia. In Malaysia, we have people, migrant, but they identify themselves completely with the indigenous people. And the indigenous people accept them completely. But there is also another group that doesn't want to be identified with the indigenous people. They want to be separate. They want to have their own political parties, their own school, their own language. And they represent not the people of the country. They represent newcomers from, even though it may be 2 generations, 3 generations. But the fact is that if they had chosen like the first group, for example, we have people of Arab origin, Indian origin, Pakistani origin. They came here. They are totally indigenous. We don't separate them. They may look like Indians, they may look like Arabs, but they are indigenous people. And we accept them. There is no problem about racial politics. You see? But when you want to retain your connection with your previous country, then of course you separate yourself.
I'm with mana lagi. Okay, tadi dulu lagi. Betul. DAP ni, moving forward, especially after Kerajaan Madani now, do you see them becoming stronger or ada perpecahan atau perbalangan dalam parti?
Well, this Kerajaan Madani, you have to accept that it is an authoritarian government. You are not allowed to speak about anything. You can't speak about the 3R, you can't speak about casino, you can't speak about many things. So it is said to be multiracial and all that, but you can't talk about anything. You go to parliament, Even in parliament, the word parliament actually comes with a French word parler, which means to speak. You are there to speak, but you are told, oh, you cannot speak about 3R. You cannot speak about this. So, on the other hand, the government speaks about race and all that. The government says, oh, you must not speak about this. And the government discuss race on their own without any rebuttal, without any debate.
How nak ada solution dekat situ kan? If you're not allowed to discuss about issues like 3R, how are we supposed to find a unifying factor or a solution to the problem?
We are going to be forced to accept.
Okay.
You see, you can't talk. You must accept this. So there is no debate. There is no freedom of speech. Although they say about freedom of speech, yes, of course, freedom of speech sometimes create controversies.
Yes.
But in any society, there will be a need for people to voice their feelings.
Yes.
But we tell them, yes, okay, but you have freedom, but you cannot say this, you cannot say this, you cannot say this, you cannot say this. Then where is the freedom?
Okay. Tun, salah seterusnya today Monday, Jun 10, hari pertama diesel subsidy and many are crying foul. Your thoughts on it, Tun?
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. Already the cost of everything has gone up. When you say that only certain groups can enjoy subsidy, other groups do not. Those who do not enjoy subsidy, their cost goes up. When their cost goes up, the people who are poor will pay a higher price because they will also feel the effect of withdrawal of the subsidy because you need fuel for everything that you do. And when the price goes up, your product also goes up in price. So the poor people will again suffer. We are seeing in Malaysia today people who have sort of lost their minds. There have been cases of suicide among Malays. Malays normally do not commit suicide. But when you find you can't even feed your own children, then of course you may commit suicide. There has been cases of a man killing his father and mother. And there was one woman who killed her baby.
Yeah.
You see? So people are at their wit's end. They cannot deal with the problem that they have faced. So when you have any action that creates more problem for these people, may result in more
Dire consequences.
things, strange behavior being seen.
When you're talking about a high cost of living, right? So personally, even for myself, I'm feeling the pinch. And we always talk about we don't know what's going to happen in the next few weeks. I'm sure it resonates with a lot of people on the ground, grassroots semua, because everything is so expensive. And lagi-lagi with subsidy, tak ada subsidy, things, lorry semua rely heavily on diesel kan. I cannot visualize myself what's going to happen in the next 3 years or 4 years. But when we were under your premiership, we had Wawasan 2020. Kita ada tujuan lah. Like we were living, 2020 is going to be a big year for all of us. We're going to have something. We're going to be something. We're going to have flying cars. Okay lah, 2020 COVID happened. Tapi Malaysia right now, 20 years lagi, what do you think is going to happen?
It depends very much on leadership.
Okay.
We notice that leaders play a very big role. For example, you look at China. China under Mao Zedong was very poor, very backward, had got no industries. People were poor. But when Deng Xiaoping took over, China become the powerful country that it is today. And this happens to other countries. Take America, for example. Under Trump, you have policies that are not expected of America. So when you have a country and you give power to one person and you cannot change the person, then when he goes wrong, there is nothing that can be done. You
Okay.
see, in some countries, the term of the prime minister is only 2 terms.
Okay.
Whether you like it or not, you have to step down.
Mhm.
But here, there is no limit. At this moment, there is no limit. So people are going to be prime minister for 10 years.
Yeah.
A lot of damage can happen within 10 years. That is so bad that you cannot you cannot change it to correct the mistakes that have been made.
Yeah.
So this is as I said just now, you need not a strong prime minister, but a prime minister who's open to uh, uh, arguments by others,
Yeah.
which was what I did when I was prime minister. I always consult for everything that I want to do. At least the cabinet is given, every member of the cabinet has a chance to speak. Every member, sometimes 2 rounds.
Okay.
But this is not known outside. But even in UMNO, the Supreme Council, when they were to decide something, they had 2 rounds. Everybody was asked to give their opinion. But I don't see this happening now.
Tun, I want. Okay, this is my last question. Before we do a Father's Day question, Tun, there is heavy discussions from on the ground and politics internally in the government and the police that you may be arrested soon for corruption. Your thoughts on this?
I have no fear
Okay.
because I am not corrupt. He has not been able to prove that I am corrupt. Because you can say so and so is corrupt,
Yes.
but what is the evidence? If you have the evidence, yes. Like Najib, for example, when he was accused of corruption, they had documents, bank documents, checks, and all that, all written by him, signed by him. So you have documentary proof of corruption. I have asked Anwar to show proof that I am corrupt by showing, he said he has boxes of documents.
Yeah.
Show. But he said, no, we cannot show. But you talk about it publicly. You said you are going to show evidence. You haven't showed evidence. It's already 1 year. You see, I give him 2 weeks to show evidence. But now, after 1 year, instead of showing evidence, he's trying to force my children to say things against me.
Okay.
But they didn't do anything to help me. I mean, they do their own business. In fact, everybody knows that my children were not allowed to go into politics when I was prime minister. They were not allowed to do business in Malaysia when I was prime minister. If you can have any document to show that I received billions of dollars from my children, show it. Show it. Don't talk about it. Just show it. But until now, nothing has been shown. What he's doing is to delay the court hearing,
Okay.
so that he doesn't have to show proof, because he has no proof. But he wants to throw me in jail. Well, at least go to the courts. But if you want to have detention without trial, that I can't have. If he wants to do that, because I have done nothing wrong. You see, I can prove it, that I have not taken. I live a very simple life. I am not, having jewelries and all that.
Millions and millions, billions and millions of worth of artwork and assets.
Sure.
Okay. And how do you handle Tun Daim's case?
Yeah, but
Oh.
basically it's not so much to Daim as
Uh-huh.
to make use of him to take action against me.
Okay.
But Tun Daim is a sick man.
Yeah.
You see, have some consideration now.
Yeah.
You see, he cannot even speak, but accuse him of something that, as far as I know, he has not done. He's done his business outside the country.
Okay.
Practically, before, when he was not in the government, yes, he had some housing projects and all that. But when he became minister and subsequently he stepped down, he did his business outside the country.
Okay.
That he has the money,
Okay.
you see? But show proof that he has. Suddenly you freeze his property. Now he has problem having to pay his staff and all that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Macam, do you think this is revenge?
I think there is an element of revenge there.
Tun, coming weekend Father's Day, maybe you can share with us one heartfelt message for Father's Day. Since you are grandfather,
Father of Malaysia.
father of Malaysia, Bapa Pemodenan, yeah.
No, this is a great country. By 2020, it should have become a developed country. But we should get rid of this new value system introduced by Najib. The one thing that I don't like about Najib is that not only did he get involved in corruption, but he said there is nothing to be ashamed of if your boss steals money. Nak malu apa? Bosku. Huh? I mean, you are teaching people to be bad. Huh? And now all Malays, they are asking for money. Before, when I was campaigning, maybe I will prepare for my workers some nasi lemak and two cigarettes and all that. That's all. That was before. Nowadays, to fix a flag, $3, RM3, satu flag. Beribu flag ni. Mana kita ada duit? Kita tak ada duit. So when we contested that day, we had no money, we lost.
Yeah.
We lost. And even I lost when I asked the voters in Langkawi, I asked one voter lah, in Langkawi, apa pasal tak undi saya kali ini, dulu undi saya, Tun tak bagi duit. That was extra. Tun tak bagi duit. Dia tanya, berapa banyak dapat? RM100. RM100 boleh tahan berapa lama? 2 hari. Lepas tu tak tahulah kita boleh dapat lagi kot. That's they are thinking of their money. Just $100, and they get their votes because of $100. And Najib has spoiled the personality of the Malays.
For you, like Najib, bapa apa?
Nah, saya tak payahlah bapa apa pun. Saya tak kira. Saya bila masuk jadi menteri, saya arahan yang pertama, jangan hubung nama saya kepada mana-mana sekolah.
Okay.
So the whole country tak ada satu nama saya sekolah. Di Kuala Lumpur ni tak ada apa yang ada nama saya. Bagi saya, apa nama saya ini tak penting. Akhirnya kita akan pergi. Lepas itu apabila orang nak kata apa, itu dia punya masalah lah. Kita tak ada lah.
maybe thank you so much, Tun, for having us today. In your final words, maybe there is a message for all the Malaysians, just in general, before we end.
Kita ada sistem politik yang kita kata demokratik. Demokratik bermakna rakyat memilih kerajaan. Tapi kita dapati di dalam pilihan raya, orang Melayu entah pasal apa, tak nak pilih kerajaan.
Okay.
Sampai baru ni di Kuala Lumpur baru 49% tidak keluar.
Ya.
Melayu. 49%
Melayu.
tak keluar. Jadi bila kita buat macam itu, apa jadi kepada negara, kita tak boleh nak marah siapa.
Yes.
Kita akan dapat orang yang guna duit dan sebagainya. Sebab tu kita kena pandang serius hak kita untuk memilih kerajaan melalui undi. Bila nak undi, tolonglah janganlah undi pasal duit.
And kita nak ada Sungai Bakap punya by-election lagi. So kena, it's a good reminder for the people lah kan.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Tun, for being with us today. I really enjoyed the session and I really thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.